And now they're calling for a draft in the UK for young people as well. An army chief says that everyone in the UK needs to think like troops. Okay, what does that mean? You need to think like a soldier because they want you to think you are at war. Look at this graphic. These are the countries that NATO wants to start pulling troops from to reach 90,000 in order to, as the Sun says, prepare for World War III drills or do drills for World War III. Okay, so all those countries there, they want your warm bodies. They want your teenagers. They want your sons and daughters. Lithuania has been waving their hands for a few weeks now saying, we're ready. We got people. We'll go. This is happening because Ukraine has allowed its army to die off. So if you think you're not following them in these footsteps, you are mistaken. And now they've had to implement draconian draft rules, and Ukrainians are trying to flee in order to avoid further conscription. Some dying while they are fleeing. Just last week, these 6 people died trying to swim away. They're so desperate to get away from Ukraine. So young people of Europe, is this your future? Dying or escaping a country that wants to throw you into a war that you do not buy? Well, British MP Andrew Bridgen says, actually, we're already at war with Russia, and they're just not telling you that. And he has a timeline for when we are going to be given this, and it lines up with this German draft deadline that we just learned about. Remember, I said they'd tell us in June? So listen to what he has to say.
Rishi wants out. We are actually at war with Russia now.
We've got.
Haven't told you.
So say that again.
We're actually at war with Russia now. I met with Andrei Kelin, the Russian ambassador in London, a couple of months ago, and he said that we know that your people are firing those Storm Shadow missiles at us out of Ukraine because you couldn't train the Ukrainians to do it. We know you're doing it, and I mean everybody knows that there are lots of US, UK, French. The French are in there.
I thought it was the Brits were down on the ground and special advisors and training sessions and teaching them and showing them.
Isn't that how?
But they were apparently. That's how we started with the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Ukraine has no troops left. They have no forces left. And to his point, they're telling them flat out, we know that these Ukrainians are not firing these Storm Shadow missiles. We know that they're not doing the work. We know that they're not. So we're about to come to blows here because NATO is going to have to do something. Either they go home with their football and they pack up and go home, or they're going to have to confront Russia as they inch closer to where these positions are. And so something's going to happen. There's like a game of chicken right now. And I don't think Russia is bluffing on this. Like, this is an existential crisis for Russia, having NATO on its back doorstep right now. So we'll see what these countries do in Europe. But
yeah, I mean, I just want to go on record and say I'm happy to lose that game of chicken. Let's just stop.
Stop right now.
Let's just let's call it. Let's go to peace talks. I don't need to win that. So, yeah, not at the expense of anybody's lives.
What the frack are we doing poking the bear? That's really stupid.
They're determined to get us into a war with Russia, and thank God we've got someone in Putin who at least has got some brains.
Now you sound like a Putin lover.
Well, I'm not. I'm not convinced any of them are any good. But at the end of the day, if you look at the facts, since 91, we've moved NATO 1,000 miles nearer to Moscow. They haven't moved nearer to us.
No, they haven't.
Now, he later says that this war is not wanted by anyone who is, you think of, that's a leader. This is Agenda 3030 from the World Economic Forum, and that the 0.1% of the richest people in the world want this, and they don't care that your teenager will be drafted or the young person in your life will be drafted. They don't care at all. Watch.
It's not a race between the blue and the red team to see who crosses the finishing line. This is a baton handover. Exactly. On all the big issues, net zero, COVID response, the WHO, the trans agenda.
Who's pushing it then? Who's pushing it? Who's pulling the levers?
It's Agenda 2030. It's the World Economic Forum, the 0.1% of the richest people in the world.
The globalists?
The globalists, yeah. The people who listen, to make money, all we'd need is next week's newspapers today, wouldn't we? Well, if you own next week's newspapers, You know what's going to happen and what's going to be reported, regardless of what the facts are. And that's the position these.
So we're heading for war.
And also, yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, we're actually already in it. They're not going to tell the people probably till July or August, maybe a bit later. And I think Rishi wants out.
But hold on one second. I mean, if we go to war with Russia, we're talking about potentially nuclear war.
I know.
Do they understand what they're playing with?
Well, we have a nuclear.
We're not playing with fire.
I know, and it goes against all our defence thinking.
But even
we have nuclear weapons, so that no one would do that to us. So why would we do it to someone who's got 20 times more 30 times more nuclear weapons than we've got?
And not just that, their air defence capability, the S-500, I mean, it's a million times better than what we've got. We've got nothing compared to that.
We've got nothing that can stop any of their...
What is it? We've got Arrow or something? I mean, that can't do jack shit with their hypersonic missiles.
I've seen a report that we just do not have any defence for the UK against the Russian arsenal.
Because you know they've got hypersonic missiles.
Yeah.
We've got nothing against that.
Nothing against that.
Okay, so that's cheerful. But again, did you hear that? That they will finally admit it in this summer when we get the full conscription plan from Germany. We'll see. Yeah, we're at war. We have been for a while. We need more warm bodies. You in? So July or August, that was not my big plans for the summer. Was it yours to be involved in a war? Let me know what you think of this and whether or not you want anything to do with it. And, you know, normally we say, tell your elected representatives that you don't want this. What he's indicating here is it doesn't matter. They're not actually calling the shots. And now they're calling for a draft in the UK for young people as well. An army chief says that